Okay, my friends, this is going to be a treat for all. You know, at Mudfossil University, I have discovered new species, which I call Notoes. We have them a ton of different styles. I just did a video on it. And somebody, when I did, boom, right away, Maureen, a friend, sent me, look into this. This woman has something to say. She gave me an exact time. We're going to go to it. And these are all robots. Now, I have shown the feet of, well, these are engineered feet. Now, they look like a shoe, but there's actually, this is the foot. And the other ones we have, I have another friend, Tish, who has them in every variety of decomposition, and we can look inside them, see how they were built. And they have been built. They're constructed, and I will show you this. I'm very sure of what I'm speaking of, and then you can make your own decision, because I'm going to show you the actual evidence. Okay, my friends, this is going to be fun. You've seen my Notoes. Now, I have a bunch of other people around the world who have a whole batch of other styles of Notoes as well. Now, we're going to look into Tish's, but the thing I want to talk about is Talus, who was the giant, the first constructed giant robot. Now, he's shown him with wings, I don't know, and they're supposed to be absolutely enormous, and he would throw boulders at ships and sink them. And he's absolutely incredibly enormous. I'm going to go into this later in a second, but my point is that the way they defeated him was by taking a bronze bolt out of his ankle, and this is what these coins depict. I'm going to show you the, well, I'm going to show you why I think this may be true. Okay, this is my Noto, and I have other bunch of Notos here too. Different styles as well. I think I have at least 3, maybe 4 now, and I've shown them. Now, Tish has a different style. She's got this here, which hers eroded differently, and they were in different types of erosion. Mine are just like the guy who just stepped off it. Now, hers are eroded here, but look at this. This is the human foot. You see that? The calcaneal, that's the heel bone. All right? From that comes up a strap, a tendon. All right? Now, that tendon goes up to a bone right here. That bone sits on this structure here. This is what she's found. There's that, the heel, and here's the strap. Runs up to the bone which would sit in that cradle and is here. Now, this is the spring assembly, and that is literally constructed. I'll show you. All right, what you have to do is look close and think a lot. All right, that's the heel. All right, that's that strap, which there's a saddle here, let's call it, where the bone would sit down, and I have a bone here, here it is. Something similar to this would sit down in that cradle, and that's the bone going straight up. Now, there's another bone that lays down on the side, which is you have a tibia and a fibia. The fibia just lays on the side like oops, this. Okay, and Tish's has the same thing. There's a side piece that lays on there, and that's the tibia, fibia, and the tibia goes here, and this is the saddle that's on mine. All right, now, and mine are completely intact, absolutely, totally intact. And you can see where the areas in the spots where there was a lot of impact, there's like a smoothness to it when you look at it in the microscope. This sort of eroded away, I think, a little bit, but it has all the same arch like we have. It has the same blood supply, exactly identical to a human foot. Now, I haven't had that tested for DNA or anything, but you could. You could get drilled deep inside, find the artery, because, I mean, look at this. This is not, I mean, you put some water on there, and that's going to turn red just like blood. I'm telling you, blood just lasts forever. Now, here's what you want to look at here. This is so incredibly interesting. I spent a ton of time looking at this. Here's your heel. There's the strap. Goes up to the bone, it would be here. So now you've got your, you know, just like our feet work. But look at this. You see that? You see that? There's something coming out of this just the same way this works and the same way that works. All right, there's a little, let me come in a little closer. All right, you see up here? It looks like there's some kind of a tab with a wire coming, and it wraps all the way around to this wire over here with a tab. Now, when they were talking about Talus and pulling the brass pin, that to me looks like some form of a pin and with some kind of a latch. You see that little circle? I mean, if you look at these things closely, they're just unbelievable. It's absolutely incredible. That's some kind of a tab. Same thing here. This was built, somebody built this, but it's biomechanical. All right, you see this gap here? That gap allows this spring to go this way. Well, why would that spring go this way? Because this over here is where the toes are. The toes push up, which lifts this up, rocks this way. You see this? It's got a tab that latches up to here that pulls this in. Think about this carefully. I worked my whole life on little machines like this. This thing turns up this way. There's a spring here that loads. It wants to return. It loads up this way. At the same time, this follows it. This pulls this way. That pulls this latch this way. That pulls this way. Everything wants to restore. There's a bumper pad between these here. There's a bumper here. As this comes up, it bumps here. That's, I believe they call this gumite. I'm not kidding you. Now there's some kind of a latch that comes all the way around to this latch here. It pulls it in and it wants to restore. This is mechanical. This is a mechanical, biologically infused foot. And it's not like ours, but it's damn close. I mean, there's a lot of similarities. Now, that I could think could be the pin. Now, let me show you what Tish also found. I don't know, probably showed you already, but I'll show you again. I mean, this is killer deadly. Look at this. You know, everybody's, oh, that's just shells all in a ball. No, it's not. That is a foot. That's the heel. These are the spring assemblies that we talked about before. There's that pin that I talked about, and it's got some latches and so forth. This has got all kinds of, this is what in your body is connective tissue, which is tendinous material. Then you have all kinds of bloody, muscly tissue that works with your tendons. They have to work together. The tendons are structural, the muscle is the puller. It's as simple as that. And then you have the anchors. The anchors are the tendon balls. I've been showing this stuff for many years now, and it's just totally overlooked. And it's absolutely, without question, it's proven. So it's very distressing that the academics can just override reality and charge. Okay, now this is Long Now Foundation, and this is Gods and Robots, Ancient Dreams of Technology, Andriana Mayer. And I have a time here about 1337 to here 1345. Well, let's jump back here, 1325, close enough. Let's just listen to what she has to say. And she's going to be talking about how they built these giants and how they were able to defeat them. Listen to this. This is very, very cool. Don't forget now, it's Long Now Foundation. All right, here goes. And they sound like they're looking for truth. I like that.
Intelligent machines like self-moving carts and the golden servants, they're good to imagine as thought experiments, but the myths imply that such things can be pretty dangerous and destructive in the real world of humans. Now, another ancient myth tells how Hephaestus forged the first bronze robot, and I can't resist showing Ray Harryhausen's fabulous image of Talus, the giant bronze robot. The automaton was called Talus, and it was made for King Minos, who ruled Crete with an iron hand. So Talus was a killer robot. He was intended to defend the island kingdom of King Minos, and he was programmed to spot strangers, spot anyone coming ashore, and actually could pick up and hurl boulders at ships to sink them. And the coins of ancient Crete boasted about that capability of Talos.
Something I want to tell you, they had coins showing the fish being attacked by the dragon. All of these things with the wings on them and all this stuff, we laugh at all this stuff, but I'm going to tell you what, you just keep watching.
Now, should anyone make it ashore in close combat, this bronze robot could heat his body red hot, grab up a victim, hug them to his chest, and roast them alive. And this mirror shows that capability. So Talus was imagined as a kind of cyborg, half human, half machine. He's able to carry out complex activities, and he fits the definition of robot in a way because we know details about his inner workings, and he even has a power source. Talos, we're told, had a single tube or a conduit that went from his head to his feet.
Now listen to this, because I can show on my mud fossils the actual attachments of what looks like a single conduit.
And in that tube or conduit pulsed ichor. Ichor is the life fluid of the immortal gods. That's his power source. The entire vivisystem, if you will, was sealed. The whole system was sealed with a bronze bolt on his ankle.
A bronze bolt on his ankle. Wait till I show you Tish's feet.
It's his weak point. When they dropped anchor in Crete, Jason and the Argonauts, it looked like they were doomed to be Talos's next victims. But luckily for them, they had the sorceress Medea along with them, and she figured out how to destroy Talus. She realized that if you remove the bronze bolt in the robot's ankle, his power source would drain out. And ancient Greek vase paintings from 2,500 years ago showed Jason using a tool to remove the bolt. This is an example. This power source, ichor, then, we're told, flowed.
Now, she says that removed the power source. But look, they've got these little tiny people. They got these huge, the little guy is taking out the bolt. All right, this was all real stuff. I mean, we think it's all hilarious and, silly. But I'm going to tell you something right now, my friend. That right there is history. This is history more than the books that they're teaching their kids in school. This is the history that we should be learning and at least paying attention to, they look at this stuff and they say, oh, look at how silly that is. These people didn't do this just to be silly people. We're the silly people. Time to take a, now wait till I show you the I mean, I have so much of this, it's embarrassing now, it really is. It's been going on for so long. I'm not the one who should be embarrassed, to be honest with you, but it's going to be embarrassing that I keep having to do this over and over and over. People are starting to say, oh, same thing, same thing. Why don't you just go shut up? Well, I don't think that's going to happen.